Within the last few years, we have seen a drastic increase of root rot in pulse crops grown here in the state of Montana, which of course leads to issues ranging from lower yields in some spots in a producer's field to a complete crop failure. These cases are on the rise, and both producers and researchers are quickly looking for solutions to this complex problem. Today, we will explain what root rot is, how to identify it in the field, and cover a few best management techniques that will help prevent future developments of the issue in Montana cropping systems. Root rot is caused by many different organisms. One pathogen known as Pythium thrive in cold and wet environments, where Aphanomyces prefer warmer environments. Fusarium thrive in more dry conditions or in environments where moisture levels fluctuate. This is seen very often in Montana, both in the early and late season as damping off and root rot, and can mask symptoms of other pathogens that simultaneously infect the plant. It takes a while for these host-specific root rots to build up in the soil, so symptoms usually go unnoticed at first. Eventually though, significant yield reductions will be seen. Once a field is infected, it is not possible to terminate these pathogen populations when they are in the soil. They will persist due to long-lived spores, meaning tactics such as pesticide use will not resolve the issue. To learn how to identify root rots in the field, Jeannie Rude, an agronomist in northeast Montana, has a few pointers on what to look for when crop scouting.
So my customer today, he's grown lentils here probably every 3 years for 15 years at least. So as we get pulled into this field and we look out across here and we try to decide where we're going to look for the root rot, we're going to start down here in this bottom. The bottom areas always have the heaviest soils and of course stay wet the longest, so that's where we'll start looking today. So as I walk from the pickup up here, the color's nice and dark, they generally are nice and thick, and I get to this spot, and as you look across this patch, they get pretty pale, they get really thin. What I want to see are these nice full lentils like this, where they fill out the row nicely and they're reaching out toward the lentils next to them. So when I get to an area like this, where they get really thin and stunted, this is where I start to get suspicious that there's something going on. So right here is a perfect example of a lentil that I'd be looking at, because he's off color. He started off growing okay, but he doesn't seem to be doing very good anymore. So I kind of open that up, you can see the discoloration right there. This is definitely going to have root rot. And this helps me wash the last of the soil off so that you can really see what's going on. As soon as the dirt comes off, this is all I'm left with. And as I suspected, the rot starts here. There's basically no secondary roots at all. All you have is the primary root. It's got a few nodules, but not many. And nothing I can do is going to make that root anything but dark colored. This is going to be a healthy looking lentil. It's nice and thick and bushy. It's quite a bit taller than the sick ones were. And when I start breaking the soil loose, already down here we can tell it's going to look very different than the one I just did, because it's already holding on to a great deal more soil. You can see just how much more volume there is from these plants. As I shake them apart, that is a lot more root than we had to begin with. And see how the soil stays attached to those roots? It doesn't just slide right off. That's all the little fine root hairs on that root reaching out and grabbing nutrition from the soil, absorbing moisture. That's what makes this root system work for the plant.
Any producers who may need further assistance with identifying root rot can contact the Scudder Diagnostic Lab at Montana State University. If you need to send in a sample to the lab, be sure to collect the entire plant early in the week to allow for the plant to reach the lab before the end of that week. The sample should be kept moist and any excess soil material should be removed. To learn more about submitting a sample to the lab, visit diagnostics.montana.edu. Although there is no easy solution to eliminate the problem of root rot, there are some techniques that you can utilize to manage further instances of the issue. These include being aware of seed treatment utilization, adjusting crop rotation plans, and making sure farm equipment is not spreading these pathogens into new fields. When using seed treatments, note that their characteristics of deterring root rot infections only last about 2 to 3 weeks in the soil, and also note that there is such a thing as fungicide-resistant disease populations. Crop rotations are an essential management practice that, among its other benefits, can also reduce root rot issues. Growing a cereal, oilseed, or other non-host crop can reduce root rot pathogens in the soil. When running farm equipment in fields, it's a good idea to begin your farming practice in clean, uninfested fields, and then finish in fields where known root rot issues exist. It is also beneficial to wash and sanitize the equipment before moving between areas in order to prevent the spread of disease into new fields. Another management practice that may become an option in the future is the utilization of crop varieties that are resistant to root rot pathogens. These are not available for commercial use in the US, but may be a viable solution in the future, so long as a strategy is used so that pathogens don't quickly develop a resistance to the new variety. When developing management practices, it is important to keep a diverse plan intact. Don't just rely on one technique. Rather, find a system that changes many variables in a field year to year, and also adapts to external factors such as changing climate patterns. Root rot is a nasty problem affecting a significant aspect of Montana agriculture. However, if we all stay updated on the topic and implement optimal management practices, further spread and more severe cases of the issue can be prevented. If you are experiencing issues with root rot or have any further questions, contact your local extension agent. Montana State University Extension is committed to helping with the management of root rot within the state. Additionally, you can visit the MSU Extension website for more resources. This video was made possible with a grant from the USDA, as well as the Montana Department of Agriculture and Montana State University. If you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to check out the MSU Extension YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.